Hello, basketball fans, and welcome to the Red Zone here at Hicksville High School as we are getting ready for girls varsity basketball action tonight. The Fayette Eagles, the Lady Eagles, have made the trip to Hicksville to take on the homestanding Lady Aces in a non-conference varsity basketball game this evening. Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Murphy with Hicksville Community Television, calling the action for you tonight. Alongside Brian Williams will be helping out. With the stats, and Christopher Warner will be behind the camera this evening. I want to thank both of them for taking some time out of their busy schedules on this Tuesday night to help us out with our coverage. Introductions underway, so let's do the same and let's run down the starting lineups for tonight's varsity matchup, beginning with the visiting Fayette Lady Eagles. Their starting five will be number 5, Addison Bentley. Addison, a 5'9" senior. Number 11 is Jillian Figgins. Figgins, 5'1" and a senior guard. Number 21 is Amber Gaona. Amber is 5'3" and a junior. Number 24 is Jensen Robinson. Jensen, also a junior, stands 5'10". And number 32 will be Trista Frushi. Trista, 5'11", and also a junior. For the Lady Aces, their starting five, pretty familiar to all of us by now. Number 3 is Avery Slattery, 5'10", and a sophomore. Number 4, Kennedy Phillips, 5'6", and a junior. Number 10 is Kenzie Schrader, 6 foot and only a freshman. Number 12, Izzy Smith, is 5'4" and a sophomore. And number 13 getting the start tonight, freshman Lindsey Bergman, standing at 5'9". Only one senior on the Aces varsity squad this year, and that's Kennedy Valena, number 11. We'll see her into the game very shortly, I am sure. So, yeah, when senior night rolls around for the gals, it'll be a kind of a quick ceremony this year with just the one senior on the squad. Aces, of course, coached by Mr. Josh Freese, and the head coach for the varsity Fayette Lady Eagles, Ryan Colgrove. Glad to have you with us. A big thank you to the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships underwriting our varsity basketball coverage here tonight. It'll be Schrader and Frushi, center circle, to get things started tonight. And we'll get ready. Jump up, tip controlled by the Lady Eagles. Quick bounce pass over on the wing. Moving things around. That's Figgins right now with the ball. Excuse me, not Figgins. That was Gaona. Gaona. Long pass over to Robinson. Robinson's long throw, no good. Rebound comes down to Phillips. Phillips launches it to Slattery. Slattery back to Phillips. They'll settle into their offense. Schrader now. Back to Phillips. Out on the top of the key in no man's land. Schrader's going to drive into the paint and lay it up. No good. Gets her own rebound, puts it back, and is going to draw the foul. And that's going to be on Addison Bentley, her first, team foul number 1. And Schrader is going to be at the line shooting 2. No score early on. Schrader's first one, no good. She'll get one more. Schrader's second one is also no good. Long rebound comes into the hands of Slattery. She's going to be tied up. And that's going to be another whistle and another foul, this one on Jensen Robinson. So Robinson will pick up team foul number 2. Quick inbounds to Schrader, up no good. And we're going to have another whistle underneath the hoop. And that's going to be out of bounds. So bounce pass inbounds to Figgins. Figgins quickly over to Robinson. Robinson being guarded by Schrader. as the Eagles will work it down the floor and slapped out of bounds out of Frucci's hands. It'll stay with the Eagles. Frucci will handle the inbound, or excuse me, Robinson will handle the inbounds. Robinson, bounce pass, gets it into Bentley. Bentley loses the dribble, and it's going to go trickling out of bounds. We'll see who touched it last. We're going to say last touched by one of the aces. It kind of looked like they were playing soccer with the ball running around, rolling around, and everybody kind of kicking at it. Robinson directing some traffic. Bounce pass. Gets the ball into Gaona. Gaona being guarded by Smith. Ball slapped away, but she hangs on to it. Gets it to Robinson. Robinson back to Gaona down in the corner. She'll drive towards the paint, stripped away by Phillips. Phillips gets it to Slattery. Slattery on the wing now. Avery looking things over. Spin move, gets it over to Bergman and back to Kennedy Phillips. And Phillips, I don't know if she was trying to make the shot or if she was trying to hit Izzy Smith going along the baseline. Either way, the ball goes out of bounds. And back to the Fayette Lady Eagles. No score in the first quarter here. 6:15 left to play. Robinson, quick bounce pass into, and it's going to go out of bounds again, and that'll be last touch, I think, by Schrader. So the Eagles will keep possession. Robinson looking things over, guarded by Schrader. Robinson gets the bounce pass down low to Figgins. And Figgins gets tied up, and the ball is loose, and Schrader can't quite control it, loses it out of bounds. It'll go back to the Lady Eagles, who so far have had a hard time getting it. They have a hard time getting it into play. Another bounce pass, and this time to Frucci. Frucci's going to take it coast to coast. She'll put it up, no good. And it's going to be an offensive foul as they whistle her for the charge as she crashes in to Schrader. Or excuse me, into Phillips. And that'll be the second offensive foul on Bentley. And we're going to have... I was about to say, I thought that was going to be Frucci that got the... So a consultation going on. It's team foul number 3 against the Eagles. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna take off one from Bentley. And that will be Trista Frucci who got the charge. So Bentley with 1, Frucci with 1, and Robinson with 1. And we're back in action. Slattery across the timeline to Schrader, right back to Slattery, and now to Smith. Phillips going to drive baseline, put it up, no good, and that's going to be a whistle and an offensive foul on Lindsey Bergman. So Bergman gets her first in team foul number 1 for the Aces. And the ball goes back to the Lady Eagles. Robinson needs to get it inbounds, and she does. They get it back to Robinson. She's still pinned down in the corner with a double team. Gets it out to Gaona, but it's going to be stolen by Schrader. She loses her footing, but hangs on and doesn't lose the dribble. Shot by Slattery is no good. Robinson grabs the board. Back over to Figgins. Figgins across the timeline. Man, Kenzie Schrader had her feet go out from underneath her, but she did not lose the dribble. That was impressive. Schrader's going to do the inbounds. Smith and Phillips are going to come out of the game. Into the game is Monroe and Eicher for the Lady Aces. Also into the game, let's see, nope, I don't see any substitutions for Fayette. Monroe to Bergman. Bergman, bounce pass to Schrader. Kicks it back out. Eicher. Long shot, no good. Rebound comes down. Ball is loose on the floor. Amber Gaona falls on it, and timeout called by the Eagles. So Fayette calls a quick 30-second timeout to maintain possession. Valena getting ready to check into the game for the Aces. As we have played a while, it's still no score. A lot of action on either end of the floor, but nobody has put one through the hoop yet. The JV game had a sort of a similar start. We only had a halftime score in the junior varsity game earlier of 7-6 at the half. So we might have another slow start for the varsity matchup. Robinson's going to handle the inbounds chores. Schrader's going to guard her. Try to make her life a little more difficult. Robinson launches it. And it comes down to Bentley, who's going to put it up and be fouled by Monroe. Addison Bentley. So Kelsey Monroe into the game, picks up a quick personal foul. Team foul number 2, and that's going to put Addison Bentley at the line to shoot 2 for the Fayette Eagles. 4:47 to go in our opening quarter. And there's the first point of the night. Bentley makes it 1-0. And it's going to stay 1-0. Out of bounds, last touched by the Eagles. Aces ball. Schrader will toss it in to Avery Slattery. And Slattery will bring the ball up across the timeline to Eicher. Macy looking around. Gets it to Valena. Bounce pass inside to Schrader. Kicks it out to Monroe. Monroe shot's good. Long 2 for Kelsey Monroe. And the Aces on top now 2-1. Figgins gets it to Robinson. Robinson going straight for the hoop. Puts it up. Doesn't get the shot, but's going to draw the foul. And that'll be on Valena. Valena gets her first personal and team foul number 3 for the Aces. Trista Frucci. First shot, no good. Frucci will get one more. Slattery will come out as Kennedy Phillips back into the game for Hicksville. And Trista Frucci's second shot. No good. Out of bounds. Going to stay with the Eagles. It looked like Schrader was trying to grab the rebound and went out for hands out of bounds. Robinson. Bounce pass. Into Frucci. Into trouble. And that's going to be 2 shots. And we'll see whether that's going to be so that'll be Macy Eicher picking up her first personal, and Frucci back at the free throw line. Missing it again. 4:12 to go. We aren't even halfway through the first half. 2-1 the score. Frucci's second shot, no good. Phillips grabs the rebound. Gets it to Schrader across the timeline. Schrader back to Phillips. Down to Eicher in the corner. Eicher bounce pass is stolen away. That's Robinson who will bring it up onto the wing. She'll kick it back, and a long shot by Gaona, no good. Valena grabs the rebound. Kennedy Valena to Eicher, down to the corner to Monroe. Monroe to Phillips. Phillips down to Schrader. Schrader gets it to Eicher, who puts it up, no good. Phillips grabs the rebound, and now it's Schrader driving to the hoop. Up, count it, she's going to the line. Kenzie Schrader gets the bucket and the foul. And that'll be Frucci's second. And team foul number 3 on the Eagles. That'll be team foul number 4. 1, 2, 3, up. Team foul number 4 on the Eagles. Schrader looking to complete the three-point play, and she does. 3 points for Kenzie Schrader, and the Aces up now 5-1. And Schrader will come out for a breather. Slattery back into the game for Hicksville. Robinson gets the ball into Gaona. Back to Robinson. Across the timeline. Robinson drives down the floor. Stops. Guarded by Eicher. She's in some trouble. Bounce pass to Bentley, and Bentley's going to go to the hoop. She's going to get hacked and go to the line. And that'll be another one on Valena. So Kennedy Valena comes into the game and picks up 2 quick personal fouls. Team foul number 5 for the Aces. So they're only 2 away from putting Fayette into the bonus. Bentley's shot's good. Bergman is going to come into the game, and Schrader is back into the game. Izzy Smith back into the game, as Eicher, Monroe, and Valena will sit down. One more for Bentley. That one's good. So Addison Bentley evidently getting the range dialed in. She's got 3 from the free throw line. Slattery to Schrader to Phillips. Good! Long 2. Had a foot on the line, but still. Bentley now. Bentley. Bounce pass, and it's stolen by Phillips, but it's off the hands of Slattery and back to the Eagles. Now Figgins puts it up for the Eagles. No good. Grabbed by Smith, who gets it to Schrader quickly. Feeds Phillips. Phillips back to Schrader. Up they go and down they go. And out of bounds they go. Nope, it'll be a foul that's going to be on Kenzie Schrader for going over the back there. And that's team foul number 6 on the Aces. So Fayette could be getting a lot of opportunities to draw closer from the free throw line at this point. Figgins with the ball. Down into the corner, shot up, and no good from Bentley, but they get it right back. And now Figgins is going to shoot it from three-point land. No good. And that's going to be Bergman grabbing it, and it's going to be an over the back on Bentley. So Addison Bentley is going to get her second. And with 2:26 to go in our first period, the Aces are going to take a timeout. It'll be their first one of the game, and also just a quick 30-second timeout. Coach Freese going to go over a couple of things he's noticed with his squad. Aces leading 7-3. It's a 4-point lead here, as we're still about 2.5 minutes left in quarter number 1. As again, there's been the ball's been moving up and down the floor, and there's been a lot of offense, a lot of defense, just not a lot of scoring, but a lot of fouls. Eagles with 4 and the Aces with 6. So we could be shooting a lot of free throws at this rate by the time we get into the second quarter. Aces with the ball, 2:26 to go in the quarter. Slattery with the ball for Hicksville across the timeline. Slattery to Phillips. Phillips looking for some help. Back to Slattery. Over to Schrader. Schrader back to Slattery. Feeds it into Bergman. Bergman into a triple team, then back to Schrader. Schrader lays it up and in. Nice work by the Lady Aces for the bucket there. Gaona with the ball for Fayette. Down to Robinson from three-point land, no good. Long carom out and a putback, no good. Partially blocked. Bergman grabs the rebound, tosses it to Slattery, and we come back the other way with the Aces. Schrader now to Bergman. Bergman right back to Schrader, and then over to the wing. Shot by Phillips up, no good. Loose on the floor. Bergman grabs the board. Gets it to Schrader. Schrader lines it up, no good. It's Phillips on the other end. And now Slattery back to Phillips. Phillips from a little closer off the iron, no good. And this time Bentley grabs the rebound. She gets it to Figgins, being guarded by Smith. Figgins back to Bentley across the timeline. Bentley now to Robinson on the wing. Fayette down by 6. Ball knocked loose, but Robinson gets it back. Ball loose on the floor, and it comes up in the hands of Izzy Smith. Quickly down to Phillips. Phillips kicks it back, and it's going to be a foul on the floor. Bergman hits the deck. Phillips got the ball, and I think she was a little too far under the hoop for her to make what she thought was a comfortable shot. And that'll be Jillian Figgins picking up her first personal foul for Fayette. And team foul number 5. Monroe's going to come in, and Slattery will step out for Hicksville. And the Aces will have the ball on the baseline with 53.6 seconds left to go in the quarter. Quick inbounds. Monroe has it now on the wing. Down to Schrader in the corner. Her shot up and good. And that's 3 for Kenzie Schrader. Gaona with the ball now for Fayette. Spin move. Bounce pass to Figgins. Figgins drives into the paint, and she's going to get hacked. And that'll be on number 12, Izzy Smith, her first. Team foul number 7, so into the bonus for the Fayette Eagles. They'll shoot 1 and 1 now. And it's going to be Jillian Figgins on the line to shoot 1+1 with 31.5 seconds left in the first quarter. Figgins gets the first one. She'll get the bonus. Misses that one, and rebound comes down to Eicher. Eicher to Monroe to Phillips with 24 seconds. Phillips back to Eicher. And back to Phillips, now down low to Monroe. Gets it right back out to Phillips. Almost loses it out of bounds, but Kennedy hangs on to the ball. Now Monroe down in the corner and back to Phillips, who will kick it over to Smith. They'll work it around the perimeter and get ready to take the last shot. Bounce pass inside to Bergman. And she's going to be fouled. That's going to be on Robinson, number 24. Jensen Robinson. Or they say number 22. Oh, all right, that'll be Emma Leininger. Team foul number 6. Monroe gets it into and takes a little too much time, and they don't get a shot off. So we've played the first 8 minutes, and into the first quarter, it's the Aces leading the Eagles by 8, 12-4, our first quarter score. We've got some time between quarters, so we want to say a big thank you, as we always do, to our basketball broadcast underwriters, the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships here in Hicksville, Ohio. Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick, Jim Schmidt Ford, and the Jim Schmidt Truck Lot, and of course online at jimschmidtauto.com. Remember that if you're in the market for a vehicle, whether you want one that is brand new or pre-owned, car, truck, van, or SUV, you owe it to yourself to stop by, check out the great selection they have on the lots, or you can check out the entire dealer inventory online anytime at jimschmidtauto.com. And remember, if you don't see what it is you're looking for, let the folks at Jim Schmidt know what it is you're interested in, because they always do their level best to make sure that you are able to get just the vehicle that you are looking for. It's all about service at the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships before, during, and after the sale. We're so proud to have their continued support as our basketball broadcast underwriters for the 2019-20 season. The Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio. Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick, Jim Schmidt Ford, and online at jimschmidtauto.com. 8 minutes on the clock for the second quarter. Aces up by 8. And Schrader inbounds to Phillips. She'll toss it right back to Kenzie, and we're underway. Phillips on the wing. Back to Schrader. She's going to go for another 3. That one's going to be a bit long. No good. Robinson grabs the rebound. She takes across the timeline, works down the sideline. Robinson over to Gaona, who puts up a hook shot. No good. Rebound comes down, loose on the floor. And Schrader comes up with it, gets it to Monroe. Quickly back to Schrader. Across the timeline to Eicher. Down in the corner to Phillips. Phillips to Eicher. Back to Phillips. Phillips for three. No good. Eicher grabs the rebound, gets it back to Kennedy Phillips. Down the corner to Monroe and back to Eicher. Eicher drives into the paint and loses the handle. There'll be a whistle and they'll stop. It's going to be a jump ball. And the possession arrow is going to give it to the Eagles. So Robinson will get ready to do the inbounds. Gets it in to Figgins. Back to Robinson. To Gaona. Gaona back to Robinson. Guarded by Schrader. Bounce pass inside. That's to Leininger. Long shot up. No good. Rebound loose on the floor. Robinson scoops it up. Feeds down to Figgins, but she loses the handle, and that's going to be a tie-up between her and Monroe. And Figgins is going to pick up her second personal, and that'll be team foul number 7. So with 6:43 to go in the half, the Aces go into the bonus, and they're going to be shooting free throws. Like I said, we might be seeing a lot of free throws shot here in the next 6 minutes and 43 seconds on the game clock. Monroe, first one, no good. Robinson grabs the board. Nope, I take that back. That is not Robinson. That's Frucci. Frucci gets it over to Figgins. Figgins bounce pass. Down into Frucci. And she's fouled, and she'll go to the line to shoot 2. And that'll be Monroe picking up another foul. That's 2 on Kelsey, team foul number 8. 2 shots for Trista Frucci. See if she can draw her team a little closer. Frucci's first one, no good. Back into the game, number 13, Lindsey Bergman. And Phillips has checked, or excuse me, Valena has checked back into the game for the Aces as well. Frucci's second one, no good. And Schrader, again, manages to fall and maintain the dribble perfectly. Slattery with the ball now out on the top, and Izzy Smith on the wing. Back to Avery Slattery. Slattery to Schrader. And so it's a technical foul, and they were indicating Bergman and Gaona. So both Gaona and Bergman pick up fouls. So now it's 9 team fouls for the Aces and 8 on the Eagles. So they sort of offset, and the Aces got the ball out of bounds. They had possession. Bergman, good. It's a long 2 for Lindsey Bergman. The other way, here comes Robinson. She's going to try to take it coast to coast. She puts up the shot, no good. Frucci with the rebound, and she's tangled up on the baseline, and she's going to get fouled, I think, by Slattery. So Slattery is going to give the double bonus to the Lady Eagles. 10 fouls, so regardless, they'll shoot 2 from here on out, and Frucci misses again. And so far, the only scoring that Fayette has done, unless I'm mistaken, has been from the free throw line. Frucci misses them both. Bergman grabs the board, flips it over to Slattery. Slattery down the floor, quickly to Schrader, back to Slattery. Slattery feeds it off to Valena. She'll hand it back to Avery, and a timeout from Coach Josh Freese. 5:14 left to go in the half. Aces up by 10, 14-4. In what has been kind of a rough and tumble game. Boy, a lot of fouls in this game that just piled up very quickly. I can't remember. It's been a while since we've seen a team. It's been a while since I've called a game where we've seen a team go into the bonus in the first quarter. But that was the case tonight, and as it stands right now, the Aces have committed 10 team fouls. So it is the double bonus for the Fayette Lady Eagles for the remainder of the half. They will shoot 2 no matter what. And they themselves, the Eagles, have committed 8 team fouls. So the Aces are only a couple fouls away from being in the double bonus themselves. 3 timeouts remaining for Hicksville after this stoppage by Coach Josh Freese. The Eagles have called 1 timeout. They have 4 remaining. As we'll get ready to get back into action here in this varsity contest. Kind of a light crowd here tonight on this Tuesday evening, but an enthusiastic one. Pretty vocal contingent that made the trip from Fayette to Hicksville. Addison Bentley getting ready to check back in for Fayette. It'll be Hicksville's ball on the baseline. Slattery tries to get it inbounds. It's going to be slapped out of bounds by Robinson. Aces will retain possession. And Robinson will come out for a bit of a breather as Bentley comes back in for Fayette. Slattery will launch it in to Phillips. Phillips gets it to Valena. And right back to Kennedy Phillips with 5:08 to go and the clock rolling. Inbounds to Schrader. Down low to Smith. Up and in. Izzy Smith gets the bucket and the deuce. 16-4 now. Quickly to the other end. The shot up. No good. Put back, and that's 2 for Bentley. Addison Bentley gets the first field goal of the night for the Fayette Lady Eagles at 4:42 in the second quarter. Aces back on offense. Valena to Slattery down into the corner. Schrader for 3, no good. Figgins grabs the rebound, gets it off to Guyona. Guarded by Smith. Guyona across the timeline. She puts up a prayer and draws the foul. The shot is no good, but Guyona is going to go to the line to shoot 2. Slattery will pick up her second personal. So both Monroe, so got Monroe, Bergman, Valena, and Slattery all with 2 personal fouls at this point. Aces up by 10 at the line. Amber Gaona. Her first one's no good. She'll get one more. Gaona, second shot, and she gets that one to drop. That'll make it 16-7. Schrader with the ball for the Lady Aces. Schrader over to Phillips. Back to Schrader. Down into the corner to Slattery underneath the bucket. That's Valena, and they'll move it back out onto the top of the key. Back into the hands of Slattery on the wing, and then right back to Schrader and to Phillips. They're slowing it down a little bit. Slattery. Downside, inside to Smith. Slattery, no good. Schrader grabs the board. Aces retain possession. Phillips from just inside, nope. And the rebound comes down this time to Frucci. Oh, excuse me, that was Leininger. Leininger gets the ball over to Figgins. Figgins throws it up as she's pushed. That's going to be on number 12. Izzy Smith will get her second. And that's going to put Jillian Figgins at the line to shoot 2 with 3:22 to go. Figgins misses the first one. Eicher and Monroe back into the game as Smith and Slattery will have a seat. And one more for Figgins from the free throw line as Robinson gets ready to check back in for Fayette. Figgins gets the second one. That's her second point of the night. And Robinson back into the game as Bentley will have a seat. And here come the Aces, 3:20 and counting. Kennedy Phillips looking things over to Monroe on the wing. Back to Phillips. Inside to Schrader, loses the dribble. It's scooped up by Frucci, who tosses it to Figgins. Figgins across the timeline. Figgins alley-oop pass. Frucci puts up the shot, no good. Aces with it, quickly down the floor. Nice feed to Valena. Valena tries to go up, and it's stripped by Robinson. Robinson with the steal on the block shot. Back to Figgins. Robinson on the wing. Figgins top of the key. Figgins gets it to Leininger. Leininger to Frucci, puts it up, no good. And that's Macy Eicher grabbing the rebound to Phillips. Quickly down the floor to Valena. Eicher back to Phillips. Back to Valena down in the corner. Kennedy tries to get it to Monroe. Monroe gets it back out. And we'll reset the offense again. Inbounds to Schrader. Now down to Monroe. Monroe from the corner. Off the rim. No good. Gets her own rebound. To Eicher. To Phillips. And they try to bounce pass it down low. And knocked out of bounds. Valena tried to bounce pass to Schrader. It got slapped out of bounds. So the Aces retain possession. Out of bounds, and that should remain with the Aces. They'll just move Schrader from the baseline over to 1/3 of the way down the court here on the far side. 1:51, ball inbounds to Phillips. Phillips to Eicher. And back to Macy. They'll keep moving it around here. Valena down in the corner, launches it to Phillips. Phillips to Schrader, back to Phillips, down to Monroe in the corner. They'll work around the perimeter and see if they can get something to open up. And also burn a few more seconds off. And they'll reset again. Now Eicher is going to go in and she'll draw the foul. Macy Eicher draws the foul from Amber Gaona. So Gaona picks up her second personal, and that's team foul number 9. So this will be a 2-shot foul, they're saying. And after this, it'll be double bonus for the Aces, so they'll be shooting 2 after. So they'll be shooting 2 from here on out. Eicher. And, thought she might get the bounce. Not quite. She gets one more. Minute 12 to go in our first half. Eicher hits the second one. Makes it a 17-8 ball game with just over a minute to go in the half. Figgins, bounce pass to Gaona. Feeds it down inside, shot up, no good, and the rebound comes down to Schrader. Schrader's launching it down to Phillips. Phillips hangs on to it, gets it back to Schrader. And then to Valena. Valena, bounce pass is stolen as she tries to get it for Eicher. And Robinson comes up with the ball to Gaona. And we come back the other way with the Eagles. And Valena should have maybe taken the shot down there, and it's going to come back into the possession of the Aces. Valena winds up with the ball, loose on the floor. Kennedy down the floor. She's going to go for the shot and draw the foul. Okay. That's going to be on Jillian Figgins. That'll be her third. Bentley going to get ready to check back in, and Valena will shoot 2 as now the Aces are in the double bonus for the remainder of the game. 29.2 seconds left in the half. Phillips misses the first one. Valena misses the first one. And we've got a problem with the contact lens on the sideline, so we're going to have a brief stoppage of play. Figgins is going to sit down. And we're going to have an official timeout, and I think they're just going to, it'll be a timeout from the Eagles. So the Eagles will burn their second timeout. It'll be a quick 30-second as Leininger lost the contact. So they had to, she had to find it. It was every now and then if you wear contact lenses, they can get bumped and they can go up in underneath your eyelid or around your eye somewhere, kind of weird. So it looks like she found it and got it back in place. Coach and also Doc Haggerty coming over to make sure she's okay. So she may look a little teary-eyed for a little bit, the irritated eyeball, but that's okay. 29.2 seconds, and Valena at the line, shooting free throw. Missed the first one. She's got one more. Valena's second one is good. So Kennedy Valena scores her first point of the night and puts the Aces back up by 10, 18-8 with 24 seconds left. Gaona works her way through traffic, puts it up, and she's going to go to the line shooting too. And that's going to be number 10, Kenzie Schrader, picking up her second foul. So now I think Macy Eicher is the only ace who's been on the floor tonight who does not have two personal fouls. First one for Gaona is good. Gaona will get one more with 19 seconds left. Gaona misses that one, so it'll remain 18-9. Schrader across the timeline with 14 and a half seconds. And the Aces are going to probably try to hold it here for the last shot. They're up by 9. Schrader for 3, and that'll be a miss. Out of bounds with half a second. So it'll be a quick inbounds, and it'll be halftime. Robinson bounces it in. That'll do it. Won't count. Didn't get it off in time. Gaona throws it from three-quarter court. No good. And we've reached halftime at the end of the first half. It's the homestanding Lady Aces leading the Lady Eagles of Fayette in this varsity basketball game, 18-9. We're going to take a break, but we invite you to stay tuned. We'll be back, and we'll have all the exciting second half play-by-play coming your way right here on HIX-TV. Welcome back to the Red Zone. Minute and a half away from getting the third quarter underway. And if you are just joining us, at halftime of this varsity matchup, it's the Lady Aces of Hicksville leading the Fayette Lady Eagles 18-9. Unofficial scoring in the first half for the Lady Eagles. Now this is kind of weird because it's kind of lopsided. I mean, the entirety of the first half, the first 16 minutes, only one field goal. Addison Bentley got a bucket for 2. Aside from that, all of their other points have come from the free throw line. Now, Bentley had 3 free throws, so she actually finished up with 5 unofficially in the first half. And then 2 free throws for 2 points for Jillian Figgins and 2 free throws for 2 points for Amber Gaona. And that's it. That's their 9 points. And again, 7 of the 9 coming from the free throw line. For the Aces, they were led in scoring by Kenzie Schrader. Schrader with a couple of field goals, a 3-pointer, and a free throw for 8 unofficially in the first half. After that, 2 points each for Kennedy Phillips, 2 points on a bucket, 2 points on a bucket for Izzy Smith, a bucket and 2 for Lindsey Bergman, and a bucket and 2 for Kelsey Monroe, and a free throw for 1 for Kennedy Valena, and a free throw for a point from Macy Eicher. And that's their 18. So there you have it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Aces scoring in the first half. And only 3 Fayette Lady Eagles scoring. And again, the free throw line was their friend as both teams, the Aces put the Eagles into the bonus before the first quarter ended, and both teams wound up being in the double bonus by the end of the half. And neither team really took big advantage. They're doing okay from the free throw, but nobody's really lighting it up for the free throw line here tonight. Aces with the ball as we get the second half underway. Slattery to Valena. Valena down on the baseline gets it taken away by Robinson. Robinson tosses it over to Gaona. Gaona feeds it down to Figgins on the wing. Figgins drives into the paint, tries to dish it off. Ball's loose on the floor, still loose on the floor. And it comes up into the hands of Gaona, who gets it to Robinson for three. Off the back of the iron, no good. Rebound gathered up by Schrader, who gets it to Phillips. Anyway, it winds up eventually into the hands of Slattery, who drives along the baseline, puts it up, no good. And there's a collision between Schrader. And she causes the travel. It was an incidental hit. They're not saying it was a blocking foul or anything like that. It's just basically Schrader and Robinson ran into each other. And then Robinson rolled over with the ball and didn't dribble, so she got called for the travel. Monroe looking to handle the inbounds. Launches it into Phillips. Phillips tosses it over to Schrader down into the corner. And Slattery's pass rejected. Slattery for three, off the iron, no good. On the far side, Phillips grabs it, gets it to Schrader. Schrader into some trouble, and she gets it out of bounds off of one of the defenders, so it stays with the Aces. This again, man, it's just kind of rock'em sock'em basketball down there. And another collision and another loose ball, and Slattery comes up with it. What a great play by Avery Slattery. Her shot is short, but man, just to get the ball out of there without drawing a whistle, that was pretty darn good. Gaona gets it to Robinson, top of the key. Robinson flips it over to Figgins. Down low to Gaona again. Bounce pass inside, shot up, no good. Slapped out of bounds, last touched by Frucci. Nope, they're going to say last touched by one of the Aces. So Robinson, bounce pass to Frucci, who puts it right up, no good. Rebound, no good. And that'll be a foul and two free throws coming up for Addison Bentley. And Schrader's going to pick up her third. Kenzie Schrader is the first Ace with 3 personal fouls. There are a bunch of gals out there with 2. Addison Bentley gets it. The Eagles need to start hitting free throws, get a chance for them to work their way back into this game with the clock stopped. 8-point lead now. Bentley misses it, but the rebound to Robinson. She turns around and puts it in. Jensen Robinson with only the second field goal of the night for the Lady Eagles. We'll see if they're going to heat up from the floor like they did in the second half of the JV game. Schrader to Phillips, tries to get it inside to Bergman. It's stolen away by Gaona. She gets it to Robinson. Robinson takes it in, no good. Bergman grabs the rebound, and Bergman's going to get bumped. And that's going to be 32. That'll be Trista Frucci getting her third personal foul. And team foul number 1 for the Eagles in this second half. I don't know if we may see somebody foul out of the game for the first time in a long time before this night is through. Phillips to Schrader. Schrader drives in, off the glass and good. Kenzie Schrader puts herself in double figures. And the Ace is on top now 20-12. Back to an 8-point lead. Bentley in some trouble. Gets it back out to Gaona. Gaona drives in, puts it up, no good. And Phillips grabs the rebound. She's caught in a double team. Phillips gets it out of there to Smith. Smith to Schrader. Schrader across the timeline, holds up for her teammates. Smith now to Phillips on the wing. Back to Schrader. Down into the corner to Monroe. Her shot's no good. Bergman knocks it loose, but it was Schrader who grabbed the errant basketball, put up a shot, was fouled. And that'll be number 4 on Jillian Figgins. Schrader at the line shooting 2. Got it. Kenzie Schrader. Eicher will come in for Phillips, and obviously Jillian Figgins will have a seat. We probably won't see her for a while.
3 minutes into the third on that Antwerp Exchange Bank scoreboard. Hicksville 21.
Shot up and no good from Schrader, but she gets her own rebound to Monroe. Back to Schrader down in the corner. Kenzie looking things over, getting a little signal there from the bench. Inside to Bergman. It slapped out of Bergman's hands. It comes right back to Schrader, though, so the Aces maintain their possession. Macy Eicher into the game now. Eicher to Monroe. Monroe back to Eicher. And back to Monroe at the top of the key. Eicher down into the corner to Schrader. And back to Eicher, and then back to Monroe. Monroe loses the ball. And it'll be a jump ball. And the possession arrow should give it to Fayette. A little too much on the pass. Monroe couldn't hold it cleanly. Puts it on the floor. Gaona to Robinson. Down into the corner to Leininger. To Frucci, who will go to the hoop, and she'll be fouled. Number 13, Lindsey Bergman. Bergman picks up her 3rd personal. And team foul number 2 for the Aces. First free throw is no good. So Frucci continues to be cold from the line. Valena back into the game. And Slattery checks back in as well for the Aces. So Slattery, Smith, Valena, Schrader, and Eicher on the floor for Hicksville. Schrader grabs the rebound. Kenzie across the timeline. Kenzie takes it down to Eicher. Eicher to Slattery. Long pass off the hands of Schrader, and it's grabbed by Frucci. Frucci onto her knees, gets it out of there to Robinson. Robinson for a 3. No good, and it goes out of bounds, I think last touched by Valena. So it should stay with the Fayette Eagles. Robinson into Bentley. Bentley drives into the paint, puts it up, and she'll draw the foul. And that'll be number 3 on Avery Slattery. And team foul number 3 on the Aces. And Bentley will be back at the line, where she's hit 4 free throws already tonight. Make it 5. 7 points now for Addison Bentley, 5 of them from the free throw line. Her second one is also good. She cuts the Aces lead to 7, 21-14. Here come the Lady Aces with 3:33 left in the third quarter. Tried to feed it inside to Valena, and Gaona just too quick. Gaona dishes it off to Robinson. Ball's knocked loose, and here goes Kenzie Schrader. Up and in. Schrader wasted no time. She took it the length of the floor and got the layup. Phillips getting ready to check back into the game for the Lady Aces. Gaona across the timeline, bounces it down into the corner. Over to Bentley. Bentley to Robinson. Robinson to Leininger. Her shot no good, and Smith comes up with it for the Lady Aces. Smith to Slattery. Slattery tried to get it into Valena, and it's off of Kennedy Valena's hands and out of bounds. Phillips and Monroe back into the game. Avery Slattery will take a quick seat. Gaona gets the inbounds, and here come the Lady Eagles, trailing 23-14. Gaona across the timeline, bounce pass is hit. Shot is up and good for Emma Leininger. That's Emma's first 2 points of the night. 23-16. They put the points on the wrong half of the scoreboard briefly. Monroe to Phillips. Phillips loses the ball. Pass is taken away. Shot is up and good for Leininger, who has 4 quick points and makes it a 5-point game. And we're going to have a travel, and the Lady Eagles are going to get the ball back again. Minute 56, and the Eagles putting together a bit of a run here. They were down by 10, and now it's 5. Bentley to Gaona. Gaona across the timeline, guarded by Smith. Ball loose. Izzy Smith gets it back. Smith launches it down to Phillips. All alone under the hoop. Bergman up and in. Lindsey Bergman. Good pass, easy bucket, 25-18. Smith guarding Gaona as she goes across the line. And Gaona bounced it off of Smith's shin, and it just rolled out of bounds. Last touched by the Aces. Robinson looking to get the ball in bounds at the minute 25. Gets it to Bentley, who puts it up too far. And we're going to have a collision out of bounds, and that will be Aces ball. Not a foul, just incidental contact, but as a result, the Eagles player with the ball in hand went out of bounds. So the Aces will set their offense. Smith down in the corner, drives the baseline. Smith puts it up, no good. Loose on the floor, ball still bounced around. It comes up into the hands of Leininger. That's Frushi who takes it coast to coast, lays it up, no good. Her putback, though, off glass and good. Trista Frushi with her first 2 points of the night. Makes it 25-20, and it's a 5-point game again. Bounce pass. And Phillips back to Phillips from Monroe and back to Monroe. Monroe back to Phillips. And back to Monroe. Now down into the corner to Smith. Bounce pass, and that's going to be a whistle underneath the basket on the pass to Bergman. And that'll be Addison Bentley getting team foul number 3 and personal foul number 3. Valena back into the game as Monroe will have a seat. Pass into Bergman to Valena, and they'll work it around, and we're going to have a whistle and a turnover. And Avery Slattery will commit the offensive foul, and that's number 4 on Avery. So she'll have a seat for a while. So Gaona with the ball for the Lady Eagles as we're down to the last 8 seconds. Gaona bounce pass into Bentley. Bentley pull-up jumper is good. And that'll be the end of the third quarter. And it's now just a 3-point game as the Aces lead the Eagles 25-22. So it is kind of following the same pattern as the junior varsity game, where kind of well, kind of slow and developing, but again, wild and rowdy here in the second half. We got some time here, and we need to say a big thank you to our basketball broadcast underwriters, the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio, making our coverage possible here on HIX-TV, Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick, Jim Schmidt Ford, and online at jimschmidtauto.com. Hey, remember, we're getting ready to get started in the winter driving season. And even though we haven't seen a lot of the snow and the ice yet, it's probably coming before too much longer. And even if it isn't, you still got the rain, you still got the mist, you still got the mud, and you still got the problems that can come along. What I'm trying to say is, if you haven't got your car checked out and ready to go for the cold winter weather months ahead, it's a great time to do it because they've got 2 terrific service departments at the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio. Whether you need basic maintenance, oil change, lube job, tune-up, or major repair, they got you covered at the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships. You can find out everything you need to know online at jimschmidtauto.com or stop by Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick or Jim Schmidt Ford right here in Hicksville, Ohio. All right, fourth quarter underway. Aces with the ball. Phillips to Eicher. Eicher on the wing. And ball is slapped out of her hands and out of bounds. Aces will retain possession. With 7:47 left to go in the contest, they are going to launch it into Schrader. Puts it up, no good, but she's going to get her own rebound. Battle for the ball beneath the basket, and we're going to have a timeout called by the Aces bench. While they retain possession, Schrader was in some trouble right underneath the basket there, trying to get the ball out of there. That'll be the third timeout taken by the Aces. They'll have 2 remaining for the balance of the game. 3 timeouts remaining for the Eagles. Quick 30-second timeout called by Josh Freese. Foul situation, well, it's not quite as dire as it was in the first half. Both the Aces and the Eagles only with 3 team fouls each, which was a whale of a difference between the first half. When I think that when we started the second quarter, after 1 quarter of play in the first half, it was 7 fouls on the Aces and 6 on the Eagles. Kenzie Schrader looking to get the ball inbounds, gets it in to Phillips and tries to put it right back to Kenzie's hand, but it's deflected and comes up into the hands of the Eagles. Gaona with the ball now as Fayette looking to draw a little closer. They're only down by 3. 1 shot can tie this one up. Bounce pass. Shot is up by Leininger, and she hits it. Emma Leininger with her 6th point and makes it a 1-point game, 25-24. Schrader back to Phillips, to Eicher. Down low to Bergman, stolen away. And it gets into Robinson's hands. Robinson kicks it back out to Bentley. Bentley for 3, no good. Kenzie grabs the rebound, gets it off to Kennedy Phillips. Phillips holding up. Phillips down into the corner to Valena. Valena to Eicher, to Schrader. Schrader, long 2, no good. Nobody there to cover the rebound. Gaona picks it up for the Lady Eagles. Guarded by Eicher. 6:30 left in the game. Across the timeline, bounce pass. Leininger gets it to Frucci. Frucci drives in, puts it up, no good. Eicher with the rebound. Fayette quickly goes back on defense. Down to Valena, kicks it out to Bergman. Bergman, no good. Frucci grabs the rebound, gets it to Gaona. Will come back the other way. And a timeout from the Eagles. Head coach Ryan Colgrove calls his timeout, his 3rd timeout of the game. 2 remaining for Fayette. They'll have a full 1-minute timeout here as they're looking to take the lead for the first time in a long time. In fact, I don't know if they even had the lead. They might have had a 1-0 lead, but I don't think they did. So far in the second half, the Aces have only scored 7 points to 15 by Fayette. So the Lady Eagles have sort of done, like in the JV game, it was the Aces that came out of the halftime locker room and really heated up from the field and started scoring some big points. And right now, it's the Fayette Eagles that are riding a bit of a wave here as they have closed the gap and battled back to make it a 1-point game with 6:04 left in regulation. It'll be Fayette's ball. Inbounds to Robinson. Robinson will hold up, take it across the timeline. Robinson spin move onto the wing. Looking for some help, guarded by Schrader. Bounce pass down low to Bentley. Bentley puts it up and in. And the Lady Eagles take the lead 26-25. Avery Slattery on the floor with 4 personal fouls. Monroe bounce pass to her, back to Monroe. Back to Slattery. Down into the corner to Valena. Valena back to Slattery. Bounce pass inside, and it's knocked away from Schrader. And Robinson again across the timeline. She'll get it to Gaona. Gaona down to Bentley again. Bentley drives in. Bounce pass to Gaona. Gaona. Her bot is rejected, but Frucci gets the rebound, goes to the hoop, puts up the shot, doesn't get it, but she'll draw the foul, and that's going to be the end of the night for Avery Slattery, as she will foul out with 5:07 left to go. And no points. And Frucci at the line, shooting 2 with 5:07 so far. She hasn't had any luck at the free throw line, but she gets it that time when it counts. Frucci makes it 27-25. She'll have one more. And she gets that one too, the good bounce. And just like that, the Aces find themselves down 28-25. Phillips, as we go under 5 minutes, to Monroe, back to Phillips. Back to Monroe. And they'll move it around. Izzy Smith down in the corner. Back to Phillips. Back to Monroe. And they're still going to try to see if they can get something to open up inside. Schrader down low to Smith. Up and good. Izzy Smith puts in the bucket. And it's 28-27 now. Bentley the other way. Feeds it off to Robinson. Back to Bentley, who puts it up and in. Bentley on the transition makes it 30-27. As now the Aces find themselves back down by 3. Inside to Schrader, down to Smith again. Up off the glass, no good. Put back from Valena, doesn't drop. Ball's loose on the floor, and we're going to have a whistle as people go flying every which way. And that's going to be on white 12, which will be Izzy Smith getting her 3rd personal foul. And team foul number 6 for the Aces. Next foul committed by Hicksville puts the Eagles into the bonus. Fayette's ball on the sideline. Robinson. Bounce pass right into Izzy Smith's hands, and she's going to be fouled. Number 11, and that's going to be all for Jillian Figgins. Figgins is going to foul out with 3:59 and 2 points to her credit for the night. That's going to be Bergman drawing the foul as she goes to the hoop. And that's going to be Trista Frucci's 4th personal. Bergman's first shot, no good. Team foul number 5 on the Eagles. Bergman's going to get one more. And that one is no good. Frucci gets the ball, gets it off, and they finally manage to get it out of the corner. Robinson now will hold it up. Robinson drives in, ball knocked loose, but it's scooped up by Bentley. Bentley bounce pass, shot is up, no good. Schrader grabs the board. Schrader to Phillips. Phillips lays it up and in. Phillips with the layup to make it 30-29 on the other end. And that's going to be just too easy as Frucci puts it in for two. 32-29 with 3:15 left in the game. And we're going to have a foul away from the ball, or 22. And that'll be Leininger's second. Emma Leininger picks up her second personal foul. And team foul number 6 for Fayette. Schrader gets the ball into Smith, over to Phillips. Phillips to Monroe. Monroe back to Phillips and back to Schrader. Schrader drives in, puts it up. She's going to draw the foul, hits the deck. Pops right back up. Number 32, so that will be number 4 on Trista Frucci. And that's number 7, so the ace is in the bonus for the remainder of the game. Schrader gets the first one. So we may be doing a free throw duel to figure out who wins this game down the stretch. 2:59 left to go. Schrader gets them both. Schrader makes it 32-31, just a 1-point lead now for the Eagles, but they'll get the ball back. Bounce pass, and it's loose, and they're just going to let it go right out of bounds. Aces will get the ball back. So here we go. The turnover gives the Aces a chance to maybe get back on top on the scoreboard here. 2:57 to go. Hicksville down by 1. Kennedy Phillips launches it and takes too long. Oh, no. So Smith is going to pick up a foul, and that will be her 4th. So foul away from the inbounds, Izzy Smith. They get the ball into Robinson. They'll toss it down to Bentley quickly. Bentley guarded by Bergman, and she'll draw the foul from Lindsey Bergman. So both teams in the bonus now. And it'll be 2 shots. Bergman picks up her 4th personal foul. So both Smith and Bergman with 4. And Addison Bentley gets it. Bentley hitting the free throws when they need them. 33-31. It's a 2-point game now with 2:50 left to go. And Bentley can make it a 3-point differential with this shot. And she does. Addison Bentley. I've got her for 8 from the free throw line, I think. Schrader back to Phillips. Down into the corner to Eicher. Eicher. Bounce pass to Phillips. Phillips down low to Eicher. Her shot up. No good. Battling for the rebound. It's taken out of there by Bentley. Bentley launches it across to Robinson. Robinson kicks it back to Gaona. And her shot's good. Amber Gaona with her first field goal of the night. 4 points for Amber as they go up by 5. Bergman bounce pass down. And they'll get it back into Phillips' hands. And a timeout by Josh Freese. 2:07 to go. And the Aces find themselves now down by 5. Couple opportunities were there to tie it up, retake the lead. Not able to capitalize. So a full 1-minute timeout, and there's only one remaining for the Aces after this one. The Eagles have 2 timeouts remaining. Both teams are in the bonus. The Aces have committed 8 team fouls. So they're 2 away from putting the Eagles into the double bonus, where they'll shoot 2 for the remainder of the game. Eagles have committed 7 team fouls, so they still have a couple of fouls to give before they put the Aces to the double bonus level. But I mention that because with the fouling, with the timeouts, and with this game being rather close, especially if the Aces are able to put together a mini run and close it back, we get back to a 1 or 2 point game, this last couple of minutes may take a while to play. Last few seconds ticking off of the Aces timeout. There goes the horn. Fayette back out onto the field, and here come the Lady Aces. Again, they're down by 5, 36-31. And it'll be Aces ball out of bounds on the sideline. Monroe getting ready to inbounds to Phillips, and she does. Here we go. Phillips to Schrader, right back to Phillips. Top of the key, over to Monroe now. Monroe. Schrader's going to drive in, kick it back out. Get it to Bergman, quickly to Monroe, and it's off her hands as there was just way too much on that pass from Bergman. And they turn it over with 1:48 to go. Robinson. Bounce pass into Gaona. Gaona works her way around, and it's stolen by Bergman. Bergman intercepts the pass, lays it up, no good, but the follow-up is good. Count it, and Kenzie Schrader's going to go to the line. Schrader followed up. Bergman made a great pickoff on the pass, got it down, missed the layup. Schrader was right there with the putback, gets the bucket, draws the foul. Eicher checks back into the game. We're waiting to see who's going to pick up that foul. They haven't posted it yet. Schrader gets it to complete the 3-point play. Bentley now down low. Shot up, off the glass, and good for Frucci. Was it Leininger? Okay. I thought it was Frucci, but. And that's going to be a whistle and a foul. Yep, that would have been Leininger. So we'll take one away from Frucci. Keep our scoring correct. Phillips down in the corner. Schrader for 3. Too long. Put back out of bounds. And it's going to stay with the Aces. Okay. 34-38. Eagles lead Hicksville with 1:05. Long inbounds, and it's stolen away. Now here goes Frucci. And that'll be a jump ball, and it'll be Fayette's on the possession arrow. 59.4 seconds. Bounce pass and a timeout by Coach Colgrove. Fayette Eagles. They lead by 4. 8 team fouls on either side of the ledger. 1 timeout remaining for each team. Full 1-minute timeout. As this one going to go down to the wire. The suspense is getting to the camera guy. He's over there bouncing his feet, and I don't know. Got the restless leg syndrome going. Yeah, no, don't do that because it makes the camera shake. Half a minute left in the timeout. As we mentioned, after we get done with the game here tonight, we've got another trip to the red zone with the gals coming up later in the week. It'll be a GMC matchup here at the red zone with the Aces hosting. It always sounds wrong to me to say the Tenora Lady Rams because a ram is a male sheep, but I don't know what else you can. But anyway, Tenora will be coming to town. So we'll look forward to that coming up a little later in the week. But right now, we've got what might be a whale of an ending to a ball game coming up here. 58.8 seconds. It'll be Fayette with the ball out of bounds on the baseline. Eagles lead the Aces by 4. So here we go. Robinson gets it into Leininger, kicks it out to Gaona. Over to Bentley. Bentley driving in, kicks it back out. They'll move it back around again and keep taking time off the clock. Leininger guarded by Phillips. Gets it back to Robinson. Robinson to Gaona. Gaona looking things over. Guarded by Smith. She gets it into Bentley. Bentley around Eicher. Puts it up, no good. Smith grabs the rebound. Smith launches it down the floor, and it's stolen away from Valena. And she fouls Gaona. 26.4, and we're going to go down to the other end and shoot free throws. Valena picks up her third personal foul and team foul number 9 for the Aces with 26.4 seconds left to play. So Amber Gaona misses. Smith grabs the rebound, launches it down, and it's going to be into the hands of the Eagles again. Bentley with it with 17 seconds, and she'll be fouled. That'll be number 12, and that'll be all for Izzy Smith. She will foul out with 4 points with 16.2 seconds left in the game. Monroe will come back into the game, as now Slattery and Smith have both fouled out for Hicksville. Bentley at the line to see if she can make it. Misses it. She'll get one more. It's double bonus. She's going to see if she can make it a 5-point game. Still just a 2-possession game, but only 16.2 seconds left. Misses that one. And we're going to have a foul, and we're going to go to the other end of the floor. And that'll be Jensen Robinson getting her second. And that'll be Kennedy Valena shooting 1 and 1. So Valena can make it a 2-point game with the clock stopped, 14.8 seconds. Gets the first one. Valena gets the bonus. And that one's no good. It's grabbed by Gaona, and she'll be fouled immediately. And Valena will pick up her fourth. And we'll go down to the other end. It's a 3-point game, and they're going to bank on Gaona, hopefully missing it. She'll get 2 shots. Misses the first one. The Aces aren't out of it yet. Gaona gets one more. Misses that one, but she gets her own rebound, and she'll put it up. Ball is loose on the floor, and we're going to have a jump ball. And that'll be Aces ball with 8.3 seconds. Timeout, Hicksville. You could see that coming. So 8.3 seconds. The Aces will need to go the length of the floor, but a 3-pointer will tie the game and maybe send it to OT. And that is probably what Josh Freese is sketching out right now. Because you want to do one of two things. You either want to set yourself up to get a good, clean look for a 3-pointer, or if you've got a chance to take the high percentage shot and maybe draw the foul. But again, you know, that's kind of a crapshoot as to whether or not you're going to get the foul if you hit the bucket. So a lot of conversation, a lot of things going on down there in the huddle. But this will be the last timeout for the Aces. Fayette still has one timeout remaining, so they can still stop the clock one more time. And just because there's only 8.3 seconds, that doesn't mean that we're not going to have another timeout, especially if the Aces hit a shot or hit a three-pointer. If they tie this up, there'll be a quick timeout. So here we go, 8.3 seconds, and again, the Aces will need to go the length of the floor. Bentley dropping back to maybe give a little token pressure. Now she's going to come back. They'll get the ball in. Phillips to Schrader. It's knocked loose. That could be it. Across the timeline, Robinson's just going to hold the ball. And that's all she wrote. Ouch. The Aces, with what looked like the game well in hand, just get snuck up on in the second half by the Fayette Eagles, and they wind up dropping this non-conference game 38-35. So we're going to try to do some quick tabulation here. So we can all right. I think everything jives. Thank you, Brian. So let's run it down. For the Lady Aces, coming up just short on the scoreboard here tonight. They were led in scoring, and actually leading all scorers tonight was Kenzie Schrader. She had a total of 5 field goals, a three-pointer, and 5 free throws to finish the night with 18 points to her credit, again, to lead all scorers here tonight. Aside from that, well, then it falls off. We had 4 points tonight from Kennedy Phillips, 4 from Izzy Smith, 4 points from Lindsey Bergman, 2 points each from Kennedy Valena and from Kelsey Monroe, and a free throw and 1 point tonight for Macy Eicher. And of course, as we mentioned, Avery Slattery, no points tonight. Avery fouled out with 5:07 to go in the game, and Izzy Smith fouled out with her 4 points with 16.2 seconds remaining in regulation. On the other side, for the victorious Fayette Eagles, they were led by Addison Bentley. Bentley had 4 field goals, and I had her down for 8 from the free throw line to finish with 16 points. She and Kenzie Schrader, the only 2 players tonight in double figures. Elsewhere on the Eagles side, next up was Emma Leininger with 4 field goals for 8 points tonight. Trista Frusci had a couple of field goals and a couple of free throws for 6. And then 4 points for Amber Gayona, and 2 points each for both Jillian Figgins and for Jensen Robinson. And again, Jillian Figgins fouling out for the Eagles with 3:59 left in the game. So there you have it. Tough loss for the Aces as they drop it by 3, 38-35, the final score. Again, as we were mentioning, next up for us on the broadcast schedule, we're going to have, I think, some junior high girls basketball action coming up on this Thursday, as the Lady Aces junior high squad will be hosting North Central. We'll be back here at the Red Zone coming up on, let me get to my right thing here, on January 17th on Friday for a date with the Tenora Rams. And then on the 18th, we'll be here for boys basketball action as the Aces will entertain North Central. So a lot of basketball coming up in the tail end of the week here. Hey, we want to take a moment here to say a big thank you again to the Hicksville Athletic Department, Mr. Overmeyer and Hawk, the co-athletic directors, as again, always making us feel very welcome, taking good care of us, and we want to thank them so very much. And to the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio, underwriting our basketball coverage again for the 2019-2020 basketball season here on HIX-TV. And thanks to you for tuning in and joining us for our coverage. Hope you enjoyed the action here tonight from the Red Zone. It was a tough one, but we'll see if the Aces can bounce back when they get back into GMC League play later in the week. Once again, final score tonight in the varsity game, it was the Lady Eagles of Fayette taking one away from the Lady Aces, 38-35. Now for Brian Williams on the stat book and Chris Warner behind the camera, I'm Bill Murphy for Hicksville Community Television, wishing you good night and good sports.